Hi Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your September 2021 Mercury Retrograde reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. How will Libra be affected by the September 2021 Mercury Retrograde? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have Judgment, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Chariot. If we have Cancer energy within our chart, that's going to be coming through very profoundly at our root. We then have the Witch of Earth, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And we have the Eight of Fire. If we have Earth sign energy within our chart, coming through very powerfully within our inner self. Our hearts. We have the Seven of Swords reversed. Secrets are being revealed. Things are coming forward. And then we have the Six of Pentacles. We need to put things into balance, into perspective. That's going to be really important during this Mercury retrograde. We have the Six of Cups, which is a sense here of memories coming forward. Yeah, there's a sense of nostalgia. This could be a really good thing. It's like, oh, I remember when, and it makes us really happy. It raises our energy vibration. We feel really good. But this can also bring a lot of melancholy. So do be mindful of that. We have the Lovers. That makes perfect sense. Okay, the Lovers is Gemini energy. Geminis are ruled by Mercury. So there's an intensity to this Mercury retrograde when it comes to you, Libra. Because with Gemini energy right here, with Mercury energy, because it's ruled by Mercury, we're going to see ourselves greatly affected by this Mercury retrograde. It's going to play out in the public arena a bit more than it does in the other arenas of our lives during this time. But we're going to see that we just need to be aware of it. We need to be aware of it, and we need not to retreat from it, because that's going to be the way that we cope. We're going to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to fall into nostalgia. I'm going to be hyper vigilant with myself. I'm going to, to sit there and put old emotions, new things, and that's going to be how I handle this time. And what Spirit is saying is like, no, release that, release the past, and walk into this retrograde saying, okay, things are going to be mucked up around communication, around travel, around speaking, around thinking, around, documents, everything like that, everything controlled by Mercury. I see it, I understand it, I don't like it, but it's going to clear out a lot of negativity that has been holding me back and that has been denying me. That's going to be really important during this Mercury retrograde. Now let's see what energy we need to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. It's the Prince of Pentacles. There are going to be hidden words around our prosperity, around abundance, around other people. When it comes to money, people aren't going to be as forthright as maybe they should be. We might not want to be as forthright as maybe we should be. And this is going to be a time where we need to see ourselves being balanced within our money, within what we want as our prosperity, within the way that we're moving forward. So with the Prince of Pentacles, there's a need here to slowly and steadily move towards success and yet not make money our only goal and the only thing that we talk about. It then moves us to our chakra energy for this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Perfect. We have two right here. It is peace and then flexibility. So it's the crown chakra and the sacral chakra. Now the crown chakra is saying here, I want to be crowned with peace. I want to be crowned with harmony. I want to be crowned with a understanding and harmonizing aspect of myself. When it comes to the sacral chakra is a bit more complex because the sacral chakra is where we hold our sensual, sexual energy. It's also where we hold our creativity, and it's also where all our negativity from this life and from past lives are held. And so here it's being more flexible with our ideas and our ideals and the way that we want to move forward and what we desire from our lives and, what we're going for. Not to be so rigid during this Mercury retrograde, even though we're going to have a tendency towards rigidity, is going to be very freeing for us. It moves us then to the power of this Mercury retrograde. Before we go into everything that the cards are saying here for this time, this is going to be a Mercury retrograde unlike any other because of the planetary alignment and the star alignment. It's a much more positive Mercury retrograde. We've, dealt with a lot of chaos, a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of disappointment. And yes, Mercury retrograde brings breakdowns within technology and communication, and it brings nervousness and anxiety. What we're going to see here is that it's a little bit smoothed over. If we can keep our energy vibration high, if we don't keep our energy vibration high and we continuously judge ourselves, we're going to enter into a darker season than if we don't judge ourselves and we sit there and we say, okay, this is who I am. I'm doing my best. I'm moving forward in alignment with who I am and what I need and what I desire from my life. And that might sound a little bit silly to say, even though it is helpful. We might think, oh no, I have to push myself harder. I have to not just be content. I have to go for more and more and more. But the question is, how much more do we need? When will enough ever be enough? It's being able to go after being comfortable within our lives, being steady and satisfied, and not saying there's always going to be something better out there. Mercury retrograde kind of brings that up. And we need to say, no, I'm harmonizing who I am, what I want, what I need, and my path forward. So Mercury retrograde happens 3 to 4 times a year. This year, this is our last Mercury retrograde. It has only happened 3 times this year, and they last for about 24 days. We can find ourselves dwelling on things from the past, and we can also find ourselves just dwelling on things, like being a little bit obsessive. That comes through with the 6 of Cups. We see that manifesting itself in the public arena. We're going to see our hearts trying to break out of that mindset of like, okay, I just have to be better and better at it, trying to find more balance, letting secrets, be released and not letting ourselves be held back. But in the public arena, we're still going to have a bit of an issue with that, with the dwelling, with the past coming forward. Now, during Mercury retrograde, double check all emails, all posts, before you post them online, all mail before you send them out into the post. Just double check everything because the littlest things can tend to go awry during this time and drive us up and down the Mississippi with being annoying. If you can, don't sign any contracts. If you can, be mindful about things. If you can't, put them aside, let them sit for a couple of days and then look at them again. Look at contracts again. If you can do that with emails and with posts and with mail itself, that would be really, really helpful during this time. If we can just kind of double check ourselves and not come to things with the same energy time and time again. Now, on the 6th of September started the shadow period of Mercury retrograde. And what this means is that you'll have gotten an idea around a Mercury controlled aspect, which, is everything. It's thinking, it's speaking, it's contracts, it's travel. And that's going to come up again during Mercury retrograde, which starts on the 27th of September and goes to the 18th of October. Now, the planetary alignment of Mercury retrograde, that's all spoken out in the full moon reading. So if you want to hear the planetary alignment, go to the full moon reading right at the beginning. You will have all the planetary alignments during this Mercury retrograde. But I didn't want this video to be absolutely endless and just chocked full with so much knowledge it couldn't be taken in. So I tried to just condense it. Now, this is going to have the star alignment. Mercury is going to be conjunct the fixed star Arcturus. And what this means is that the star obtains justice through power. We have judgment here, and we can find ourselves seeking judgment through the power of seeking justice through the power of judgment. And we have to be very mindful of that. Us ruled by judgment, ruled by justice itself, can make this a bit harder for us, can make this a bit more complex. All right. So with the fixed star Arcturus, we're going to see that, again, we are aligned through power, through justice. And this is going to bring us richness, it's going to bring us esteem, and it's going to bring us determination. This can also promote lasting success if we can stay in a positive and high energy vibration mindset. If we don't, it brings worrying, it brings us to feel overwhelmed as if we can't do it. So that's going to be very important to be mindful of. And the judgment here, mixed with our justice, this is going to make things a bit complex. Now, when Mercury conjunct the fixed star Spica, this star brings us success, renown, riches, fame, and a nicer disposition. It's kind of like makes people nicer. Now remember, this is all going to be to different emotional alignments, different personal alignments. So success doesn't mean that they're rolling out the red carpet for us, for every single one of us. What it does mean is that we start to see ourselves being a bit more blessed, being a bit more aligned during this time. Niceness, it doesn't mean that everybody's going to be nice. They might be really just crabby individuals, and they're not as crabby during this time. So do be mindful of that. This also brings us a love for the arts and science, but this can be a very hard alignment for those of us who are a bit more innocent, who, come to the world with kindness, because the star aligns with power. So if we're coming to the world with kindness as our center, kindness as our heart, kindness as ourselves, this is going to be something where we can feel a bit of a challenge with Mercury being conjunct the fixed star Spica, and we're going to see that our richness, our fame, our niceness, that's going to come about differently than it is going to come for other people who aren't afraid to kind of take what they want. Now, it brings an above average psychic ability or intuitive ability during this time. And this can lead us to kind of an androgynous air, very much in a spiritual alignment. And it is powerful for us as we embrace our peace, as we embrace our insight, as we embrace our ideas. This is a great time for scientists, for writers, for artists, for any sort of creator and innovator. Now, Mercury is going to be stationary direct on the 18th of October to the 2nd of November. So this is the second shadow period. The planetary alignment during this time is Mercury sextile Venus, which brings us charming, soothing energy and makes it just a good time to follow our hearts, to embrace love, to really move forward in that. And we're going to have a tendency for this with the lovers in the public arena. It is time to follow peace and to set down roots in alignment to and as to what we love. Now, Mercury is going to be trine Saturn, which brings us determination, achievement, and it helps us to tackle problems that we once found really overwhelming. We once thought, wow, I could never do that. And now we're going to be like, oh yeah, I can handle that. Oh yeah, I can move forward that way. Oh yeah, I can see the answers to that. Now, with the star alignment during this time, Mercury is going to be conjunct the fixed star Vindamatrix. Now, Vindamatrix is a complicated star, and we have to come to this with higher energy vibration. If we don't, okay, Vindamatrix will take advantage of a low energy vibration enhancing our melancholy, making us hasty and impulsive. It can also make us very drawn to the darker, more macabre things of life. And so we just have to be mindful of that. If we find ourselves being very drawn to true crime, being very drawn to horror, or, really intense murder mysteries, not the cozy murder mysteries, but the gruesome ones, we're going to have to step back, because that's going to really impact our energy vibration and really start to lower the way that we can move forward, the peace that we find within ourselves, the power that we understand. Mercury is also going to be conjunct the fixed star Purima. Now, Purima, if we keep our energy vibration high, it's almost like having a superpower, because Purima lets us understand the underhanded side of people without being drawn into it. And it actually is going to be a good thing during this time to keep that innocent outlook, to keep that nicer outlook, because as you see people's negativity and hurtfulness and harmfulness, you sit there and say, it's nothing to do with me. Or you try to. We have to make sure that the innocence isn't translated into normal children coping mechanisms of, oh my gosh, it's my fault. Oh my gosh, I made this happen. So do be mindful of that. But if we keep this higher energy vibration, we really can call out the underhanded people, see them for what they are, and just move away from them. We don't have to, have this big battle with them, because other people might not be able to see it because they have a lower energy vibration. Now, if we have a lower energy vibration during this time, if we don't keep our energy vibration high, we will start to feel worried, and as if we're working so hard and we're not getting to the place that we want to be. We will not feel fulfilled, and that's going to be something that really drags us down, that makes us feel more upset and discontented within ourselves, within our lives, within what we want to achieve. We are going to feel during this time judged, and that's not necessarily a place that anybody likes being. But through this judgment, through this sense of, this is me, this is what I want, this is who I am, this is what I need, we're going to see ourselves embracing empowerment, embracing honesty, embracing determination, embracing just this sense of stepping out of the box, stepping out of a way we once defined ourselves. And it really moves us to a new season. It moves us to stepping into this new season, to feeling like we're on a roller coaster ride, to thinking, okay, things are going to change, but how am I moving forward? With the Wheel of Fortune, it's like, yes, I know how I'm moving forward. I'm moving forward by embracing the fact that everything changes. The seasons change. Life changes. I change with it. And so we enter into this new season, even if it's not our favorite of seasons, and we say, but this is me. This is what I need. This is what I love. This is what I want. This is what I desire. And as we do so, we start to embrace our hearts in a very open way, in a very loving way, in a very compassionate way. And we start to say that I am led forward in courage. Now, it's very interesting here that we have the lion, and, Cancer goes into Leo in the zodiac, time frame. And so here we have the tendency towards strength, towards an embrace of strength and determination and focus. But it's through the heart. It's through the power of the heart, the determination of self, and the embrace of our emotions. As we do this in our inner selves, we need to ground ourselves to the earth and connect with the magic of the earth, with the witch of earth. We see ourselves as aligning with the power of creation, aligning with the power of earth and self and discovery and harmony. This is a time to eat foods from our garden. This is a time to sit outside in the sun or sit under the moon, whichever one we like best, or both if we can, and be able to say, I am here within this energy. I am here within this power. I am here within this beauty of me. And it grows me in a way that I hadn't imagined, in a way that I hadn't seen, but it pushes back the chaos. And as it pushes back the chaos, the Eight of Fire shows us that things start moving quickly. We start moving quickly. We start seeing ourselves moving forward in a way that we hadn't before, in a way that we wanted but thought, that'll never happen. Now it starts to happen in our inner selves. It really affects our hearts, because the secrets, the lies, the things that we have held onto and said, oh, but I need to keep this. I need to keep this because maybe one day I'll use it, or I need to keep this for special. Those things that we keep in our closets when we say, oh, when I'm the perfect weight, or, oh, when it's, I'm having like the queen over, I'll let myself use it. It's like, no, now everything starts to pour forward. And we're going to see that the lies, they make themselves seen, but we start to release them. We're like, no, that's not what I want to live by. That's not what I need. That's not what I desire. And then the blessings that we keep in the closet for special, we start to say, well, why not let that come to the light? Why not let that move us forward? It's very much like the book Mill on the Floss, where I believe her name was Maggie, and her aunts die with their best linen hidden away in in the drawers that nobody would ever know, but everybody will be impressed, once it's brought out and it goes around like gossip through the neighborhood. So that's going to be the thing here. It's like, don't let it be to impress people when it doesn't matter anymore. Let it be that we let ourselves shine when we can enjoy ourselves shining, when we can enjoy ourselves stepping into the beauty and the luxury of our energy, our souls, of what we desire. It doesn't mean that it has to be the best linen that gets to come out and be used. What it means is that we get to show the best side of ourselves, the best inspiration of ourselves. And it moves us to the Six of Pentacles. We need to balance things. As a Libra, we're all about balancing. We're all about balancing, what we need and what everybody needs from us. We have a tendency to take on a lot, especially if we're in alignment with ourselves, but also in a little bit of chaos. The way that we help is that we say, okay, I'll just stay quiet and I'll take it on. I'll just stay quiet and I'll take it on until we can't do that anymore. This is a time where we call ourselves into harmony. We call ourselves into actualization of what we desire and what we want and what we need and who we are. We tend to help the people through helping them find their balance, helping them get on their feet and feel secure within themselves. It could be just a nice word that we say to a person as we're passing by on the street, or it can be, a bit of a handout or something to that effect. We're also going to find that we can't give and give and give, and we can't take and take and take. Everything has to be a shared interaction during this time. The Six of Cups, be very mindful of being melancholy, thinking of the past, but also letting past words really get into our heads. The past coming forward and saying, oh yeah, but you need to listen to this. And oh yeah, but you were told by your caregiver when you were 6 that you couldn't possibly do this, or a teacher, or a friend or a sibling, that you couldn't possibly. And now you're taking that and you've taken that and you've internalized it. And now what you're going to be looking at is a sense of why. Why am I still held back by this negative, hurtful belief? Why am I still held back by this bit of chaos and cruelty? And it leads us to the Lovers. The Mercury brings about with words what we cannot. Brings about with words and thinking and understanding. And so when Mercury goes into retrograde, it kind of turns everything on its head. But it says, look at the mess. Look at the chaos. Look at everything that's here. What do you want and what don't you want? What are we perpetuating and what are we releasing ourselves from? Where are we following our love and our hearts and our wishes and our desires? And where aren't we? And how do we move forward to who we are and what we want and where we need to be? It brings us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of. And that is the Chariot. The energy that blesses us at our root is also the one that we have to be mindful of. It's the sense of the subconscious and the conscious pulling us in separate directions. It's also the sense of just thinking, I need action. I need change now. I don't care what it is. It just needs to happen. So we have to be very mindful of keeping ourselves steady, of keeping ourselves grounded. It moves us then to our subconscious chakra energy, which is meditation. Again, keeping ourselves grounded, keeping ourselves centered. This is once again the crown chakra. And this is embracing the mind with the heart. This is embracing our instincts and our desires with our hopes and our dreams and our wishes and who we are and who we want to be, and calming ourselves from the craziness and the chaos of the world. It brings us then to our subconscious rooted message. And this is the sun. The sun is shining bright within us. This is joy. This is passion. This is creativity. This is the happiest card in the whole entire deck. At our root, we need to embrace happiness. We need to embrace the beauty that is us, the joy that leads us forward. It moves us then to our subconscious inner self. And that is the Five of Water. Now we can look at this as something very tragic, which when I first saw this card made me tear up. It made me astoundingly sad because you have the polar bears starving and disappearing. But you also, if you look into things, you have the polar bears mating with the grizzly bears. Again, the grizzly bears, yeah. And that's creating a new species. It's creating a hybrid. And that is how polar bears were first created. It was a grizzly bear that went out into, the tundra and learned how to adapt and survive. So what we're seeing here is we're seeing change. We're seeing that things are out of our control and that we need to accept what we can, accept responsibility where we can, but not let ourselves be ruined by guilt, by hurt, by shame, by pain. And that's going to be very important. The Five of Waters is change your mind and change your life. Change the way that you're looking at things. And it takes you from being the victim to the victor, to the person who can implement and perpetuate that change, that power forward. It leads us then to our subconscious emotional self. And we have the Queen of Wands, passion and fire and determination and focus, embracing our dawn, embracing our determination of where we want to be and how we want to be and what we're moving forward towards and who we are. There's a sense here of more than we realize meeting our eyes, more than we realize coming forward. There's a sense of not needing to be seen by anybody or everybody, but also taking a place in our gifts, in our powers, in our hopes, in our dreams, in our wishes that makes us more noticeable than we could even imagine. It then brings us to our subconscious public self. And that's the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is saying, take time to rest. Take time to honor the road that you have walked, that you have been on. Take time to embrace the fact that, yes, I felt overwhelmed. Yes, things haven't gone the way that I had intended. Honor the path that you have been on. Honor the road that you've walked. Honor yourself. And make sure in the public arena, especially in the public world, that we're not pushing ourselves and never resting. Give yourself time to sleep. Give yourself time to take care of yourself. That's going to be absolutely and positively important and powerful for you. All right, Libra. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this Mercury retrograde. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Libra, and may you have a blessed Mercury retrograde.